Okay, this is step 3 of the apron project. We have just cut out our apron. We have 2 body pieces that are cut on the fold. That edge is not cut. We have 4 strap pieces. For this project, we only need 3 of the strap pieces. 2 for the ties and 1 for the neck. So you've got a spare, you've got an extra. I would recommend hanging on to the extra until you are done and ready and have 3 perfect straps. That way you have a backup just in case you mess up. So you need to decide what 3 you're going to use. I'm going to use this as my neck and these 2 as my ties. So step 3 says you're going to make your way to the ironing board, and we are going to press our straps in half lengthwise. We've got our pretty side up. You can easily tell your fabric on this print, pretty side from ugly side. On my black fabric here though, it's not as easy. My pretty side looks good on both sides of the fabric. You're just gonna pick one to be your pretty side. So we're gonna start with our first strap here. What you do to one strap, you do to the other 2 straps, and we're gonna fold it in half lengthwise so that those cut edges right there match up perfectly, and we're just gonna press our way across the strap. We just want to get this to hold in place. There are lots of irons and ironing boards around the room, so you've got a variety of places that are mobile that you can press these straps. Again, what you do to one, do to the other 2. For the sake of this demonstration, I'm just going to do 1 for now, so that you don't have to watch all 3. Once you've pressed all 3 in half with pretty sides together, you're going to make your way over to your machine. The directions say you are using a 5/8 inch seam allowance. Remember, your seam allowance is identified right here. This outside edge of the metal plate is 1 inch. We are going to find the 5/8 of an inch, which is engraved onto your stitch plate, and we are going to be lining up the edge of our fabric right there. I'm setting my fabric in about halfway back on the foot pedal, lining up the short end. You're going to sew one short end and the cut edges of your fabric. I'm going to make sure my needle is down so that when I pivot, I'm good to go. I'm going to sew 1 or 2 stitches, back stitch 1 or 2 stitches, keeping my fabric lined up on that 5/8 of an inch. When I think that I am 5/8 of an inch from this edge, I'm going to stop with my needle down and I'm going to pivot, keeping my fabric lined up on that 5/8 of an inch edge right there. I am sewing down the raw edge side. My only job is to sew straight. The machine's going to do the work. I'm going to keep my fabric lined up on that 5/8 of an inch line. I can sew as fast or as slow as I want, as long as I sew straight. I'm sewing down the 1 short side and 1 long side of my strap. This is why we pressed it together, so that we wouldn't have to take the time to pin the strap. We've got it pressed in place so that it's holding. When we get to the end, we backstitch just 2 or 3 stitches, needle up, and trim your ends. You're going to repeat this process with all 3 straps, and you are ready to move on to step 4.